First off, this is not a tarot reading, so that we're clear. I'm channeling messages, but I did pull some cards just for you to pick a pile to choose which group you would like to be in. If you are working on some sort of creative project or anything, any project that you feel blocked in, basically think about your project and pick a card or pick a stone. I also put stones out if you wanted to pick that way. The actual cards themselves are not, I don't explain them in the readings, so don't worry about what the meaning is. Just basically pick the card or stone or pile that you feel called to. You might feel called to more than one. You can also come back later on and choose a different pile. So the breakdown of what I did was I did a reading of what is your blockage or the source of your blockage. And that was for the whole group, whatever group you choose. And then I turn over that second card that's underneath and we do a little practice and our own intuition, right? And figuring out our own answers. And then I also told you what I saw, so don't get scared if you see nothing. And then I pulled some charms for specific messages for people on their particular projects. So basically what we're going to do now is I'm just going to ask you to concentrate on your project, whatever it is. I have, for the first pile, the Emperor, number 4. For the second pile, I have the Moon, number 18. And for the third pile, I have the Chariot, number 7. So choose your pile, and you can, I tried to timestamp, so you can just go to your pile and hope it helps. Let me know. Hello, group 1. You chose the Emperor card. I've already done the reading. And I have that in here. I'll get to that in a second. And I also will pull some charms and do a more specific reading then. So I will tell you that the reading, it's short, it's not long. You start off. The reason, in case you guys are wondering, aside from letting you see something, one of the reasons why I do put a page on video for you to see is because this is not just me writing it out. It is, as I get the messages, sometimes a spirit takes over the writing. So sometimes I write something different on the page than what I actually hear. And sometimes I don't remember after I've already gotten the message. I'm like in a trance and I don't remember. So that's why I always like to show the page in case I forgot. Group 1, what is the block or the source of your creative block? So they showed me a home covered in snow in the wintertime. And what this made me think of was not that this is your home, because, you know, you could be in Florida or something, but more when you think of a home like that, you think of a cozy home. This actually is a little three-pronged. It diverted a little bit. So you want to have that cozy, comforting, at-home feeling when you're at home, right? And when you're at work, you want to concentrate on your project at hand. And some people do their creative projects at home. Some people have an actual space for it. You guys as a collective, you are at the top of your game in creating whatever it is that you create, whatever it is you do, whatever it is that you work on. You're at the top of your game. So this isn't a time filler for you. This isn't like a fun release for you. This is a life purpose for you. Most of you might get paid for this work that you do as well. This project, this creative project that you're doing is not just a project of love. It's also a project that you get paid for. So some of you who work at home, the issue at hand is that your home life is creeping into that project. So, and this is why I say that this will divert a little bit. Let me just close that here a second. If you don't have a designated space for your project, you need one. And you need to make it so that when you get into that space, you're not thinking about, oh, I have to do the laundry. Oh, I have to, start dinner or whatever it may be. You need to be in that space and just concentrate on your project at hand. So concentration is really the key issue here. So you need to create a space for it and make sure everyone in the household knows when you're in that space, you're working on your project and nothing else. No interruptions, please, if possible. I know it's impossible. I work from home too, so I know the feeling. If you are a writer, you need a space so that when you sit down and you go write, the ethers know, oh, look, Emperor's writing, come on, time for the muses to show up. Does that make sense? It's a meeting place. So that's one aspect. Some of you, and I actually will say probably a lot of you, it was coming through as you are the top of your game, so you probably get paid to do your job. And not that you can't do it at home, obviously, for being top of your game, but I feel like a lot of people, even if they can work from home, they still like that setting of, this is my workspace and this is where I come to do what I do. If that is your case, if you have a place that you go to, an office or whatever it is, an art studio, whatever it is that you have, where you go and show up to do your work, and it is set up the way you want it to, and everyone knows when you're there you're working, but still you're blocked on something. Your blockage is coming through as you're still thinking about a problem you have at home. So there's something going on at home that is leaking into your work life. However, while that is true, and in some of you that is the case, that you will solve your problem by concentrating on your work at hand and not on your problems at home. What was coming through strongly is that the blockage in your work is mirroring the problem you have at home. So when you come across the problem, whatever that blockage is, you are concentrating on your home life and your problems at home and what you've got to fix in your own life, instead of solving it in your artwork or creative project or whatever it is that you're working on. That was actually coming through pretty strongly. Some problems are a little more difficult to solve than, what would I tell a friend? And that's when it said to go to specific messages. I've got 4 specific messages. I have charms, and I also have an extra card. So let me take this off. So let me pick some charms, and we'll see what comes through for specific messages. I'll mix them up a little bit. Just so you know, what I did was I have a huge box full of charms, and I took basically a scoop for you guys. And I don't think I will use every charm, but I'll pick a few of these charms to see if we get any messages on that. The first charm I have, oops, I dropped it. Plane and a bird. And let's see what specific message we get from those. Okay. So what I'm getting with this as a specific message to someone is that you are not... So both are flying, right? You've got a bird flying and a plane flying. But here's the thing. Unless you're the pilot of that plane, you're not flying that plane, are you? The bird, however, is flying on its own free will, and its own choices. So I think what I'm getting here is that you need to take a little more control over this problem. You're letting someone else handle it, or you're waiting for someone else. Somehow you are on someone else's time for this problem. Does that make sense? You are waiting for someone else to resolve it, and you're going along with the resolution. Or maybe you're simply not taking enough responsibility in the situation. Whatever it is, you need to take more responsibility. You're not taking the responsibility yourself to change things, to make the changes that are necessary. That's it. You're not making the changes necessary yourself, and you're the one that needs to make them. You need to make the choices. You are the one responsible for your life, and you're part of that home, whether you live alone or not. I'm getting strongly, actually, that this is not just home life. So I'm not talking, I don't mean, oh, I have a leaky roof and I really need to do something about it. I'm talking, this could be your body as a home, or yourself as a home. So you need to take responsibility over yourself in your own life. You're not taking that responsibility for some reason. You are either not giving the responsibility to anyone, or you're waiting for someone else to do it, to resolve it. But you have to make the choices. You have to do it. Take that exact mentality that I just said and put it into your project. So there's something, are you working, is it a group project? Maybe you need to take more of a lead in the project. Or maybe you're not making the choices that you need to in the project. Or maybe if you're a writer, maybe it's that, your lead character is not making choices. When you're storytelling, you have to make choices, right? You can't be everything. You have to edit and choose. So that could be it too. Let me move on to the next one. I'm getting too lost on this one. I'm taking too long. Let me move on to the next one. Oh, geez, that's a lot. Okay, hold on. They all fell again. Okay, we've got the Eiffel Tower. I don't know if you can see those. Ooh. The Eiffel Tower, the sun, an arrow, ink and pen, and what is this? I cannot tell. What on earth is that? Oh my goodness, it's another bird. Okay. I'm not even joking about that. It's another bird. So, specific messages. Someone needs to choose a direction. There, oh, ooh, ow, that hurts. Sorry. um, their character, so you're writing, there's something you're writing, and your lead character is all over the place. They need to choose a direction. They're making choices that are not consistent. Your character is like choosing one thing at one time, another thing at another time, and it doesn't serve the story. Whatever it is, your character needs to make more choices and choose direction and be consistent throughout. Someone has something Paris related, Paris, France related. I'm getting, oh, I see a dog. The dog needs a home. The dog needs a home. I'm kind of getting here that maybe you found a stray or something, and the stray is taking too much of your time or thoughts or something. Did I stop again? Oh no. So it's taking too much of something, like too much time or something. Or maybe you just got a puppy. Oh, maybe that's it. You just got a puppy. So this might just be a time management issue. Or if it's something like it's a stray, then you need to find the stray a home so that you can work on your project, because you kind of need to concentrate. For whatever reason, you need to concentrate right now on the dog or pets, whatever pet it is, and not work on your project at the moment until that's resolved. I'm getting more color. Something needs more color. That I'm changing to someone else that was a different specific message. Something needs more color. You're not done. You're not done. So I'm seeing like some artwork that you're like, oh, this is beautiful, this is done, and you need more. There's something about the color. I'm not sure. You need more. It needs another layer. There we go. It needs another layer. Another layer. And I don't mean like layer of paint. I mean like there's a depth that's missing. Something's missing. Something, you don't have the right depth yet. It's not done. It's not done. That's your major message. It's not done yet. You think it's done. It's not. Okay, another message. Find another location. The zebra. If you resonate with the zebra for some reason, which I'm actually getting that it's where you live. The sun. Your story. You're not telling the full story. You're telling. Okay, so someone's telling a story. Whatever their project is, the story is based on their life, or it's some form autobiographical. You're blocked because you're holding back. You're not telling the full truth. You need to go to those. You need to go there. Does that make sense? You need to go where you're trying not to go. You need to go where you're trying not to go. You need to go where you're trying not to go. That is your message. Wait, one more. I have to pick one more charm. Hold on. It's like they're kneeling. It makes me think, I mean, I don't know if they're running, but what it makes me think is, even though it looks like someone's running, I think it's actually someone on one knee. And it makes me think that you're not committed enough. Whatever your project is, you need that commitment. Obviously, you don't have to marry your project, but you kind of have to marry your project, if that makes sense. Commit more time to it, or commit more when you are in that time. Don't split your time with something or someone else. So, put the phone away. Don't think about what you're having for dinner. Don't think about anything but your project, and work on that and commit more to it, because you're not committing enough to it to get past this blockage that you've got. I apologize. I forgot to do the other card. So, group 1, if you are the Emperor card, your blank card is here. Let's see if I can avoid getting the shadow. So you should see something pop up for yourself. Take a moment to think about something for you, a solution for yourself. If you are not coming up with anything, I will tell you what I see in a second. Let me give you a chance to look for yourself and decide for yourself if you see anything. Use your intuition. Okay, what I'm getting here is that you're not taking yourself seriously in this project. What do I mean by that? I mean, when you walk into a creative project, whatever it is, you really, at the risk of sounding conceited or whatever, you really have to think of yourself as a god. Does that make sense? Like in Greek mythology or something. Like, you just have to put yourself in you are the creator. Creative efforts are not just us. Okay, we know that. There's a whole combination of muses and spirits and events in life and things that take place that create whatever project that you're working on. But it's your viewpoint, and you have to respect that. So if you're working on, let's say you're working on a painting of the Eiffel Tower, since I see it in the background. Let's say you're working on a painting of the Eiffel Tower. Yeah, you could do the painting that everyone sees. You know, hey, when you go to the Eiffel Tower Park and you look at the Eiffel Tower, this is what you see. But this is your artwork. We want to see it through your eyes. We want to see your vision. So, I don't know, maybe you see the Eiffel Tower as pink instead of whatever color it actually is, or maybe you see it decorated like a Christmas tree. I don't know. The point is, we want your viewpoint. In whatever project you're creating, we want your viewpoint. And if you're not putting that into it, you are missing a huge chunk of the reason why we need you. We need your view, not someone else's. So that's what I see when I look in this card. Good luck, and I hope that this helps you. Okay, pile 2. Let me sage a little bit. The card you picked was the moon. I have a box full of charms, if you hear them. I will pull some into this little tin. And then the charms will be personal messages. So the overall reading is something that everyone in the group kind of needs. And it kind of diverged into 3, but for a little more of a personal project message. I'm pulling some charms. I'm being told to pull more. Ooh, that's a lot. Your message. Okay, I show you what I write because when I'm in these trances, channeling messages, sometimes I don't remember stuff. Sometimes what I write is different from what I actually say. Sometimes I might interpret something differently when I say it out loud versus what I actually wrote, or it might even have a more important meaning to you what I specifically wrote. You know, maybe how I spelled something, like, oh, I always do that misspelling, you know, that type of deal or whatever. That's just reasons why I like to show. I mean, I know it's messy handwriting. I mean, my normal handwriting is not very neat, but the channeled messages handwriting are not exactly my handwriting either. Group 2, you had the moon card. So what is the block or source of your creative block? So I saw Cinderella's carriage, and this to me spoke to me in 3 different ways. So I'm gonna guess that you guys as a group have 3 different issues. You choose which issue or issues resonate with your projects personally. One is some of you are putting the emphasis on what you want out of the project and not on the project itself. Kind of putting the cart before the horse. Maybe once you're done with your project will be lucrative. So maybe you're thinking of how you're going to spend the money or what it will bring you, and you're not concentrating on the project at hand that is still unfinished. You're being asked here to concentrate on the project at hand, concentrate on the process, basically. A second group of you have a deadline on your project, whether it's an external deadline or maybe it's just your own personal deadline. That deadline seems to be looming over your head and you're not enjoying the process. And by not enjoying the process, you're missing a huge chunk of the love that has to go into your creative project. The third group, you were handed this project and you think you can't handle it for some reason, but you can handle it. You can totally handle this. And this is what Spirit wants you to know, that you were chosen because you can handle it. And even if no one chose you, even if it's a project that you took on yourself, you had that courage to do it, that inkling to do it, that urge, that pull. You are doing this project because you can handle this project. So please don't think that you are not capable of doing it, because you totally are. And the way to resolve all 3 problems, put the love and the work into the details of the actual project you're doing. Enjoy the process. Actually, wait, there's a line that I channeled that was beautiful. Hold on, let me read it. Hold on. Put value into the details. Get hung up on the beautiful synchronicities in the dance, in the music, in the color, in the meaning, in the movement. It's a world that you're creating. Get lost in that romance. Get lost in that world. Whatever world you're working on, whatever medium you're working in, whatever creative process it is, get lost in that, in the details of that. That is that message. Hopefully that helps someone. And I have more specific messages for anyone that may need a little more. Turn this one over first. You can take a moment to look and concentrate and see if you see anything yourself and answer for yourself, given what I just told you. I'll give you a moment of silence here to concentrate. If you don't see anything, I'll let you know what I see. What I see, I'm not good with what exact animal it was. Maybe it was a cheetah. The message is when you get into, oh, that scared me. That was random beep. Confirmation, I guess. When you get into the details of your project, you will see how fast, lightning fast, it will go. So if you're wondering about a deadline, if you're worrying about a deadline, don't. Because once you start concentrating on those details, it will just come bang, 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 and it will get itself done in time as needed. And let's look at pull the charms here, so I can give you some more specific messages. Let's see what we've got. Oh, one more. Hold on. Okay. Let's put these back. So I dropped them. Hold on. Funny, I did the same thing in the last reading. I have a monkey, a red bat, a tarot card, a heart, a mixtape, a gargoyle, or maybe a gargoyle? Yeah, a gargoyle with a rose. And, lots of gothic pieces. I love it. And a butterfly / moth. And give me a second to tell you what I see here. Specific messages. Someone has a kid's book that they're writing, or some maybe it's a cartoon, Maybe it's not a book. Something to do with kids. Your blockage has to do with you as a mom. So I'm wondering if maybe you are not a mom and you're writing something, and you're doing a project about like a kids project. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. Like you're not a mom. You're like, why am I doing this? I'm not a mom. I can't do this. But okay, I'm not gonna lie. My own bias is getting in the way of this message. It's totally my own bias. I won't lie, and I can't seem to get rid of it. So I do, when I watch stuff from people that are not parents, it does tend to show. So do me a favor, and please, if this is you, please look into it. So talk to moms or dads, or I'm getting mom. I'm getting mom, but talk to parents, caretakers, people that know, or have them read it or look at it before you hand it in or something like that, to see how realistic it might be. I do get aggravated when I see things that are not possible and they're written by people and approved by people that are not parents. You can do this. I totally believe that if you're worried about it, then it means it's important to you that you get it done right. And so look into it a little bit more. Just, it will help you calm down some, and it'll make for a better product. And I'm getting a pat in the back. I guess that's what we needed to get out. Let's see who else. The bat. Okay. I'm thinking this is something horror themed. You have a tight deadline. Don't compromise quality for the deadline. Try to get the deadline pushed, is what I'm getting. The tarot card is calling to me next. It's the strength card. Okay. So you are not seeing the value. I guess you're a reader, a tarot reader. You're not seeing the value and the strength in the messages you're putting out. Maybe they're not clear cut to you, but that doesn't mean they're not clear cut to someone else. The way messages come through, words are important. So the way you say things might not mean anything to you, but they might be very important to someone else. And sometimes if you're repeating, let's say you've got a message, you do a layout or whatever, and you've got a message, and then you do a completely different layout but get the same message. There's something about how every time you read something different, it speaks to a different person. So you might be saying the same message to 10 people, and all 10 people need to get that message, but only 3 of them understand it. So then you do a message and say it differently, and then another 2 people understand it. And then you get the message again, and you say it again, and now the other 5 understand it. It might sound repetitive. It might feel like you're not getting stuff across. It might feel like it's not important. But the people that need to get the messages are getting the messages, and they are getting them the way you're putting them out. Mixtape person or people, could be more than one. I'm getting that money is at issue with, I'm going to guess, some sort of musical project. And I'm being told to tell you money is not an issue. So for the project that you want to finish, that you can't seem to finish, you might need to find backers for it. Or maybe like a you do this, I'll do that for you type situation to finish it. I'm just being told to tell you money is not an issue. Keep going. There's also, the way energy works, if you keep going, the money will show up when you need it. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but it does seem to happen. But someone out there, so some projects, the money will show up as needed, But there's one project out there that you need to find backers for. Because it's a big money project. It's not a small project. And you'll find them. You'll find them. You will find them. I'm getting, okay, so the butterfly, which to me, I'm really seeing moth, not butterfly. And I'm seeing like kids, again, kids, like little girl, those like teen girl cartoons. Does that make sense? Like, that's what I'm seeing, that type of project. And you too are worried about deadline. Okay, you need to get someone to help you. You need someone to help you. Two of you doing the work will get it done in the deadline, in time for the deadline, which is pretty quick. It's a quick deadline. It's like less than a month, I think. Yeah. So see if you can get some help. So two of you will together will get it done. I'm getting two people. That's what I'm getting. I'm sure the minute I said that, you already had someone in mind. So talk to that person because they'll do it for you. They will help you. The gargoyle with the rose. I'm getting that there's some sort of like gothic romance. But your main character, your leading character is fine. Your supporting characters need more detailed choices. Put them in more choices, more places where they need to show who they are. Does that make sense? You're not showing who they are. They're kind of two-dimensional right now. I'm getting your lead characters fine. Maybe a little too cocky, but fine. Yeah, find more places to put them in situations where the supporting characters need to make choices, whether they oppose or, in other words, show. That's what I'm trying to say. Show who they are. Don't tell us who they are. Show us who they are. So put them in more situations where they need to show us who they are by making choices rather than telling us who they are. Okay, so the last one, the heart, your specific message. You're building something. You're building something, but your heart's broken. You're upset about something. I don't know if you had a breakup recently or something else is breaking your heart. Your project actually has nothing to do with that at all. But your feelings are getting in the way of your project. You're just gonna have to put your project aside until you can get over your heartbreak. Either choose a different project to work on that is more in line with how you're feeling right now, or maybe start a new project, or I'm just gonna have to say work on your heartbreak. You just really need to put your project aside if you can. Hopefully you can. I'm getting that you can. I don't think I would get the message if you couldn't. I think you need to put it down for a little bit and work on it some other time. Okay. Group 2. These are your messages. I hope they helped. Okay. Hello, pile 3. Your card was the Chariot. Thank you for joining me. I just did the reading for your pile. It's an overall for the entire group here. I pull some charms and I flip over that other card, and those are more specific messages. You can certainly watch more than one pile if you feel like you need to. You can also come back at another time. You know, we've got a different project. It's timeless. So, oh, my heart's upside down. Hold on. My heart must be right side up. Okay, so let's start off with your reading. I always show you what I write. The reason that I always show you what I write is because, sorry for the atrocious handwriting, but sometimes what I write is not the same as what I say. And the reasons for that, there's because I forget stuff. There's also because I was channeling, and sometimes I do automatic writing, which is when I'm not the one who's holding the pen. This group, I can see that this group has a lot of people that are still learning. So whatever creative project you have, you are still learning. I saw a lot of people in school still, or maybe they're taking classes separately. And it's okay if this is not you. If you're like, oh no, I'm the top of my field. Why? Wow, this, it's okay. There's still probably something here for you. If you were pulled to this group, this. I'm just saying overall. Remember, I do have specific messages later. Another thing that I did see that there was a lot of in this group is there's a lot of photographers, that visual medium. I specifically saw, and before I go into this example, let me stress that this is not anyone in this group that I saw. So I did not see one of you in my head. This was an imaginary symbol of a person who's a photographer, okay? And this imaginary person was taking photos of a model, and both were very kind of going through the motions. There wasn't any passion behind the work for either of them, not for the model, not for the photographer, not for there was like no set design whatsoever. It was on the drab side. And once again, like I said, this is none of you, so don't get scared. I'm not making judgment calls from the ethers about your work. Absolutely not. What this was pointing out to me is that when you're learning stuff, sometimes you get caught up on the tools and you lose the passion a little bit, if that makes sense. And you kind of have to learn the tools, right? You kind of have to learn what you're doing, and you kind of have to get caught up in it, in the learning of the pressing the keystrokes or whatever, or getting the lighting right, whatever it is. But the source of the block that the spirit guides were getting to here was that there is a lack of connection between you and your product. So there's plenty of, oops, I lost a page. Okay, I'll just talk. There's plenty of, we obviously need photographers, right? For lots of stuff. And you obviously need to know the basics, and that's fine too. But if you're in this group, you're here because you don't want to be that 75% that knows how to do it and gets the job done. You want to be part of the other percentage that knows how to do it, gets the job done, and stands out, right? You want to be the one that moves people to tears or changes the world, or you want to take your work to the next level and you're feeling like you're not getting there. So that's a lot of what I see in this group. So it's easier said than done to just, connect with a passion, right? When you're worried about getting the lighting right, you want to connect to your passion. You want to connect to the passion, to the work. And I don't just mean that you have a passion for it. So when you get into your career, doing whatever it is creatively that you want to do, you're going to get projects that you're not excited about. It's just going to happen because things need to get done, projects need to get done, and you're going to be like, I'm not feeling this. So what Spirit is saying is connect to the passion of your subject, not your passion, but the passion of your subject. An example would be if you're doing wedding photography, right? Yeah, you might love getting the beautiful sunset picture because, oh, how you love sunsets, and this is what photography is to you, and you love the colors and the views and etc. But what Spirit is saying to do is connect to the passion of your subject. So the couple is the subject. So look at it from let's say the groom looking at his new bride, see the passion that he would have for her, or the passion the parents have for seeing their children all grown up, etc. I mean, yes, you can absolutely still get that sunset shot, but when you connect to the passion of your subject, it might not speak to you, but it will definitely speak to the people that it's for. Okay? Dream and expand. So let's say you don't have someone telling you what your subject is, or you can choose whatever you want. Play. You've learned the rules. You've taken classes, you've learned the rules. Oh, you must do this. Oh, you must do that. Now break them. Learn how to break them artfully. Learn how to break them to serve a purpose, to make a statement. Definitely learn the rules, though. I say this as an artist. Learn your rules first, please, and then break them. Because you can always tell a person that has not learned the rules and is breaking the rules because they don't know any better. Okay? Learn the rules, then learn how to break them so that they serve a purpose. Because you can definitely break the rules artfully, that is without a doubt. And they're very strong when you do. It creates a very strong effect when you do that. But expand, play, and don't worry so much if you are still learning something, okay? If let's say you didn't go to school for this, for whatever it is that you're doing, you're just kind of learning on your own, pulling up YouTube tutorials or whatever. Expand, play, and do what your heart wants to see. And don't worry about learning, because learning will come because you have to do it. So once you see the vision of what you want, you're like, oh yeah, but how do I do X, Y, Z? So then you learn. You go research and you learn how to do X, Y, Z. Don't worry about learning X, Y, Z first and then having a vision, okay? So have your vision and then go, oh, sounds like I just got a package. Sorry, that distracted me. So let's do specific messages. Let's start off with, so you should see something, a solution for yourself. I'm getting that someone, could be more than one person, needs to have a balance between what they want to see and what the project should be. Kind of like what I was saying about the sunset versus a picture of the bride, a shot of the bride. You need to marry, no pun intended, marry the two Y's. When I work on something creative for someone else, I have my vision and I show them my vision and I give them my vision. If there's something about my vision that doesn't work for them, they give me their feedback. They tell me what they want, what they don't want, etc. And I take what I did, put it on a reel because it's what I like, right? It was my vision, it's my work. I put it on a reel for myself because when I get another job elsewhere, I'm going to show it. um, and then I give the clients or whoever it is what they want. You know, they don't like the color red, take out the red, whatever. Whatever it is that whatever vision they have that works for them, give them that. You know, do your alterations, try and don't just like angrily give it to them or whatever, like, this is the best. No, because it is their view and it is what speaks to them. And ultimately, if you are in a client role, I mean, ultimately, it's what they want to see, right? So, yes, your vision is important. That's why you keep it on the side for yourself. I know. I prefer my work to everyone else's, right? And I can honestly say that out of the times that people give me their feedback, I can honestly say I've never really liked their version better. I've always liked my version better, but that's okay because I have my version to show when I go to a different job or whatever. And I'm still there to make the client happy. Someone needs to have that balance. Okay, let's move on to charms, which is also more specifics. Move this out of the way. I have a box of charms. First one out is an angel. Look at that. Oh, this one came out in a different reading. A butterfly. You might want to watch, I believe it was pile 2 that one came out in. So you might want to watch, if you connect with the butterfly at all, you might want to watch pile 2 because that came out there as well. A sun. It's different than another sun that I got in a different pile. Oh, beautiful. Hummingbird with a flower. My little bird in the background, like that one. Let's get a couple more. Penguin in a cupcake at Christmas time. A bridge. I cannot tell what bridge this is. Maybe the Brooklyn Bridge. I don't know. And then dollar sign. All right, so give me a second to get something here. You know, I'm getting something with the angel. I think someone here might do angel messages. Maybe you have a platform or something where you do angel messages. This is really weird. I saw a firefighter hat on the angel. What I'm getting on this is kind of you're torn between your day job and your hobby, if you want to call it, or you don't want to call it a hobby. Your angel messages, whatever it is that you want to call that. I'm not going to say hobby because it's more of a calling, right? You're torn between your day job and that. And I'm being called to tell you to listen to your intuition. Oh, I hate it when people say that, right? Whenever I get readings, like I've come to you for a reading and you tell me to listen to my intuition, but there's something here about you not connecting enough with that side of you. So I know I have a very bad habit of, I try to meditate and I connect with my spirit team and then I go into doing these readings, you know, my mediumship readings and stuff. And I find I rush the messages for me with my spirit team. I rush through them so that I can hurry up and get to the messages for the collective. And I feel kind of like you have a similar issue. You are caring for everyone else and you're rushing yourself. You're pushing yourself off to the side. And I'm getting here that give yourself more attention there, connect with yourself more and your spirit team more, and listen to your intuition more in order to decide what to do moving forward. I'm not going to say give up your day job. I'm not going to say, don't give up your day job. I'm going to say, you need to connect with yourself and your spirit team and work through it. Don't decide without doing that, is more importantly what it means to say. Do not decide until you have done that. Okay? So you have a bridge outside your window and you can see it. Your message is about solitude. Either you are feeling your solitude heavily, or you're not getting any solitude. One or the other. You need to appreciate that the solitude gives you the chance to play. It's your chance to play like when you were a kid and you played freely with no one, judging whether you put the block right or wrong. So it's your chance to play. Either you need to find solitude so that you can get that chance to play on your project, or you need to appreciate the solitude you do have to play with your project, because life changes quickly and then you lose that solitude. It's hard to get it. So embrace the solitude is your message. Okay, let's go to the hummingbird with the flower. I'm seeing someone with a beautiful garden. Can you please repeat your message? Travel. You need to travel. You need to okay, so you have a beautiful home that you love to stay in, but Spirit's telling you to travel because you will find, I'm getting that maybe you're an artist and you paint a lot of what is around you, and where you live is beautiful, so you've got a lot of subject matter, but I'm being told that you need to travel because you will find more subject matters when you do that traveling. So maybe you can't take your paints with you. Maybe you can. I mean, I certainly have seen plenty of museums with, like in Europe and stuff, where painters stand there and do their work. But maybe you can't take that, but you can always take pictures to work off your memory. But travel is what you're being told. Money sign. So you're coming from a place of lack when it comes to money, so you need to work on that block. You need to have the freedom to express yourself. And I know it's hard when you got money on the mind, right? When you got bills to pay, it can be difficult, but the money will be there. You need to trust that. You need to trust that the money will be there when you need it. Let's go to the butterfly. With you guys, I do see it as a butterfly. When I did the other reading, I did not say it as a butterfly. I saw it as a moth. Coincide. That doesn't... I'm sorry, I'm getting the word coincide, but I don't really understand why I'm getting that word. Coincide? Coincide? Maybe it's go inside. Go inside. Oh, maybe look inside. Looking like inside your... Oh, there is a depth that is missing. So I was kind of arguing back and forth a little bit with the message. I saw a butterfly picture, and they said it was too scientific, and I guess you're coming at it from a scientist's point of view, which there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, we need that, right? And you can see lots of things that you ordinarily wouldn't see in just a pretty picture of a butterfly. But maybe you aren't doing, maybe your background is science and that's where your love is coming from, but there's a depth that is missing, is what they're saying. I'm just gonna give you the message because I like science pictures, so I don't know. I'm just gonna give you the message. There's a depth that is missing, and they're saying to go emotionally, go inside. I heard coincide, but I think it's go inside. Go inside and look at your emotional depth. Like, look at what captures, what's the beauty of that subject that captures your attention, that is not on a scientific side, that's on an emotional level, and try to bring that into your project. I hope that makes sense. I'm going to move on to the penguin and the cupcake. Christmas is important. Maybe you are a baker. Like some sort of artistry with cakes or with food artist of some form. Maybe you do not like Christmas, or maybe you're not a Christmas person. Maybe it's not something you celebrate. What I'm getting, that there's a tension with the religious aspect of it. That's what I'm getting. So I don't know what your project is, but there is some religious undertone to it that's hindering you. So, for example, maybe you're Jewish and you don't celebrate Christmas, but someone's asking you to do a Christmas cake. I don't know. It's probably a bad example, but I'm just trying to give it an example. Something about religion to you is a sticking point. It's a problem. Something, it's hindering you in this, and I can't seem to grasp what it is. And if it's clear cut, because I honestly hear someone yelling at me. I don't know if you're yelling at me. So if it's clear cut, but I'm not getting that it's clear cut. But if it's clear cut, I'm getting that there's something else. Something you're not seeing. It's more than just black and white. It's more than just whatever it is that you're screaming about at me for, that you're yelling. It's not that. I know it seems obvious that that's what it is, but it's not that. There's something else, something to do with your childhood, some sort of wound regarding religion. Maybe it was prohibited for you, or maybe you're in a religion that was not of your choosing. I don't know. But it's not what you think it is. So I need you to look more into that. And please stop yelling at me. Okay, so believe it or not, with the sun, what I'm getting is that you are working in a creative field that is physically hard on you. It's physically hurting you. You might love what you're doing. It might bring a paycheck. It might be a passion project, but it is physically unhealthy for you in some way. It is physically hurting you in some way. And I'm not a doctor, so I'm gonna have to ask you to go to the doctor. These are your messages. I hope they helped. Please let me know if they did.